Who is the best Hogwarts professor? Let's find out.
Well, you heard it from the headmaster himself. In this extensive video, I will create an ultimate Hogwarts Professors Tournament to determine who actually did the best job. Across the 7 books, 22 professors served at Hogwarts, from long-term legends to short-term substitutes and everything in between. I put all 22 of them in 4 groups, with the help of the sorting hat. Let's see how the groups look, and then we will start with the elimination process. So as you see, 2 groups have 5 professors and 2 have 6. In the group stages of the tournament, from each group 2 professors will advance. Then, the 8 surviving ones will continue in the elimination rounds all the way to the grand final. No need to waste any more time on explanations. Let's start with Group A. Group A is an interesting one to start with, as this is where we have 3 possible candidates to move forward, so I am now having to choose which one should be eliminated. But let's get the easy ones out of the way first. Amicus Caro was a Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher during the events of the last book. This atrocious Death Eater was just installed to torture students. He made them practice unforgivable curses on each other. He was cruel and just appalling. He doesn't deserve to be called a teacher at all, and is the worst professor in this entire tournament. So yeah, this is an easy elimination. Next, we have Wilhelmina Grubbly Plank. She's the substitute care of magical creatures teacher who steps in when Hagrid's not around. Honestly, she's pretty solid. She introduced structured lessons, safe handling of creatures, and the students actually preferred her no-nonsense style over Hagrid's chaos at times. Hermione literally admitted that her classes are better organized. She's professional and gets the job done competently, but she was only a temporary substitute, so I cannot advance her, unfortunately. Then, we've got Horace Slughorn. Okay, this one's interesting. Slughorn's a master potions brewer. He is very knowledgeable and his classes are engaging and well structured. But here's the thing, he's super biased with that slug club thing and only really invests in students he thinks can help his network. Also, he's kind of a coward who runs when things get tough. He teaches well when he wants to, but his annoying favoritism held him back from being truly great. He almost advanced to the next round for me, but Flitwick and McGonagall are both just too beloved to not continue. This is probably the toughest group here, but yeah, Flitwick and McGonagall are advancing to the next round. Now let's move on to Group B, where we have 6 professors. As before, I'm picking just 2 to move forward to the next round, and the rest get eliminated. This group has some fan favorites mixed with lesser known or more niche professors, so there will be a bit of debate here. First up is Aurora Sinistra. She's the astronomy professor organizing classes in Astronomy Tower. She teaches the basics of stars and planets and similar stuff that's been part of Hogwarts for ages. But honestly, we almost never see her in the books. She may be great at what she does, but the book sidelined her, so this is an easy elimination for me. Next is Bathsheba Babbling, the professor of ancient runes. This is another one where she's extremely specialized as she teaches runes and ancient scripts. Think of it as a magical kind of linguistics. She's knowledgeable in her field, but like Sinistra, she's barely mentioned, has 0 on-page teaching scenes, and doesn't impact the students or story in a big way. Thus, she's also out. Then, we've got Rolanda Hooch, the flying instructor and Quidditch referee. She is sharp and all about safety and fair play. She teaches first years the fundamentals of broomstick flying and keeps things disciplined on the pitch. She's great at what she does and she enforces rules strictly, but flying lessons are only for first years and refereeing isn't full-time teaching like core subjects. She's iconic in her role, but limited scope holds her back a bit. Tough call, but she doesn't quite make the cut for advancement. Now, let's talk about Frenzy the Centaur. Hired as divination professor after Umbridge sacks Trelawney, he brings a completely different approach that is more focused on nature instead of crystal balls. He is particularly interesting to me as a non-human professor, which makes him unique. He actually predicted darker events ahead, which made him insightful and prescient. He's terrific, but in this tough group, he cannot advance as he didn't appear all that much in the books. The 2 people who absolutely have to advance are Moody and Hagrid, both instrumental in their roles and very memorable. So that's a wrap up on this group. Moving on to Group C, and this is where we have some very questionable characters, so let's get them out of the way first. Starting with the absolute no-brainers for elimination, let's talk about Dolores Umbridge. Where do I even start with this cow? Installed as defense against the dark arts teacher in the 5th year, she turned the class into a nightmare that was all about theory and nothing about practice itself. She even tortured students with numerous detentions and got a lot of sadistic joy out of it. She's not just incompetent, but genuinely harmful and cruel. This is an instant elimination for me, of course. Next is Gilderoy Lockhart. Oh boy, another atrocious teacher any way you slice it. An endless self-promoter. He used memory charms to wipe the real heroes' minds and take credit. He was absolutely useless in classes, and he endangered students without ever teaching them anything useful. He is a charismatic fraud with zero actual skill or knowledge. He's eliminated, needless to say. This group is absolutely insane, as next we have Quirinus Quirrell. He was just a turban-wearing weird guy who seemed nervous and mild until we learned he had Voldemort on the back of his head. He taught some basics early on, but his real agenda was the Philosopher's Stone. Even without the Dark Lord factor, his teaching was forgettable and overshadowed by his treachery. He has to be eliminated. So that leaves us with Trelawney and Sprout moving forward. These aren't the strongest competitors in this tournament, but they are both quite memorable in their own right, and in this weak group, they are the easy choices for advancement. Now let's tackle the final Group D. This one's a real mixed bag with some absolute legends, a tragic figure, a couple of obscure background teachers, and straight up villains. Kicking off with the obvious eliminations, let's get Alecto Carrow out of here. She was appointed Muggle Studies professor in Harry's 7th year under Snape's headmastership. She twisted the subject into pure propaganda, teaching that Muggles are like animals. She made the class compulsory for everyone, spreading hate and division. She and her brother Amicus used torture as punishment on students. Goodbye, and good riddance. Next, Charity Burbage, the actual Muggle Studies professor before the regime change. She was kind, progressive, and believed Muggles weren't so different from wizards. Tragically, her positive views got her captured and murdered by Voldemort himself at Malfoy Manor. She's a victim more than anything, and while her intentions were noble, we see zero actual teaching scenes or student impact. Her story is heartbreaking, but she's known more for her faith than her actual presence in the books, so sadly she's also out. As for Septima Vector, she is the arithmancy professor, which is pretty much the magical take on mathematics. She's described as really strict, piles on the homework, and has been teaching it for years. She is apparently very good at her job, but like many electives, she's barely mentioned, so she also gets eliminated. Let's talk about Cuthbert Binns, who is the history of magic professor and the only ghost on staff. He's been teaching since forever and literally died in his sleep and kept going as a ghost. His classes are legendary for being the most tedious thing imaginable. He drones on in a monotone about goblin rebellions and treaties, reading straight from ancient notes, putting everyone to sleep. He's the epitome of an insufferably boring teacher. Thus, this is another easy elimination for me. The two moving forward are Remus Lupin and Severus Snape, as they're the standouts with real teaching depth and legacy to unpack in the later rounds. We'll talk much more about their strengths when they face off properly. With that, the group stage is concluded. Now things will turn interesting as the winners advance to the elimination round. But before showing you the bracket leading to the final, let me take a moment to thank you for watching this far into the video. I'm brand new to YouTube, so I would like to ask you to subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. It is really important for the algorithm in this stage. I have many other Harry Potter ideas such as this, and my #1 goal is to have fun and creative concepts. But since I don't want to waste much of your time, let's continue with the tournament. Now, let's kick off the elimination round, the real heart of this tournament. I've narrowed it down to the final standouts from each group, and now they square off in head-to-head matches. These are where the tough debates will happen. Take a look at the screen to see how the bracket looks, and then we will start off with quarter-final number 1. First up is a terrific showdown. Minerva McGonagall versus Rubeus Hagrid. Minerva McGonagall is the gold standard of Hogwarts teaching. As Transfiguration professor, she commands her classroom with iron discipline and lots of fairness. Her lessons are structured and precise. She turns desks into pigs, teaches advanced human transfiguration, and instills respect for the subject's risks while making mastery feel achievable through hard work and focus. Students fear crossing her, but they also respect and admire her deeply. She's both strict and caring. Her animagus skill, decades of experience, and moral backbone make her not just a great teacher, but an inspirational figure. Rubeus Hagrid, on the other hand, is pure heart and a guy who is impossible not to love. He is a fan favorite for a reason. As Care of Magical Creatures professor, he brings wonder and excitement to the subject. He brought numerous amazing creatures to every single class, making these moments feel iconic. He's a father figure to the main trio, and he shows so much support for them. His classes feel like genuine adventures, and he teaches the importance of respect and care for animals. But let's be honest here, his enthusiasm often blinds him to danger. He underestimates risks and prioritizes excitement over safety in classes. Lots of incidents made his classes fitting for incident-prone Hogwarts, but that should never be acceptable in any school. In the end, this matchup comes down to effectiveness versus affection, and Minerva McGonagall emerges victorious. Hagrid's warmth and fan-favorite status make it heartbreaking to see him fall here, but McGonagall's focus on safety and discipline gives her the clear edge here. She advances to the next round. The second quarterfinal is the battle of the opposite styles, Pomona Sprout versus Severus Snape. Pomona Sprout is the steady, dependable heart of herbology at Hogwarts. As professor and head of Hufflepuff, she runs her greenhouses with competence and genuine care for every student. Her lessons are practical, teaching everything from mandrakes to gillyweed, always emphasizing safety and respect for living things. Students feel supported rather than judged, and her subject proves it's worthy for crucial moments in the series. She's the kind of teacher who builds confidence and skill without ever needing the spotlight. Snape, on the other hand, is a potions genius with unmatched talent. As potions master for most of the series, he brews complex drafts with ease. He spots talent instantly and pushes advanced students to professional levels. His classes are rigorous, demanding precision and focus, and he produces excellent exam results year after year, but his teaching style is brutal and at times openly cruel. He bullies Neville into near panic, he mocks Harry relentlessly, and he favors Slytherins shamelessly. He's that type of professor we all love to hate. In the end, this matchup has a clear outcome, and Sprout emerges victorious. Snape's raw skill and results are impressive, but his cruelty and favoritism make him a deeply flawed educator, while Sprout's consistent kindness and ability to nurture every student give her the clear edge. She advances to the next round. Now let's move to the third quarterfinal matchup, and it is also an exciting one. Mad-Eye Moody versus Phileas Flitwick. Moody is the epitome of intense, no-nonsense defense against the dark arts teaching. Even though we mostly see the imposter version in year 4, his style matches what the real Moody would bring, which is constant vigilance and practical lessons that hit hard and stick. He demonstrates the unforgivable curses up close and shows real dark creatures like the Boggart. His classes are eye-opening, terrifying in the best way, and they equip students with skills that literally save lives later. Phileas Flitwick, on the other hand, is the charming, brilliant charms master and head of Ravenclaw. He is tiny but skilled. He's been teaching for decades with enthusiasm and precision. His lessons cover everything from basic levitation to advanced charms like aguamenti. He's patient and encouraging. He makes complex magic feel fun and approachable. Students love his classes. He produces excellent results without intimidation, and he shines in big moments like leading the protective enchantments during the Battle of Hogwarts. His warmth and ability to inspire without scaring make him one of the most beloved professors at Hogwarts. In the end, while Moody was actually terrific, we have to be real here and remember that he wasn't the real Moody, but an imposter. He was fantastic at his job, and he actually did teach students valuable lessons about the dark arts, but Flitwick's classes were more fun and nurturing at the end of the day, and he taught there longer. He advances to the next round. And now we arrive to the final elimination matchup in this round, Remus Lupin versus Sybil Trelawney. Lupin is one of the best defense against the dark arts teachers Hogwarts ever saw. In his third year, he brings expertise, kindness, and real skill to every lesson. He teaches practical topics like boggarts and werewolves with insight and care. He helps Harry master the Patronus charm that saves lives and treats all students with respect. His classes build confidence and trust without fear, making him a true mentor who leaves a lasting mark on all students. He's pretty much the type of inspiring professor that everybody loves. Sybil Trelawney, on the other hand, is the dramatic divination professor full of theatrics. Her lessons focus on crystal balls and on constant doom predictions. She has genuine rare seer talent with 2 key prophecies, but most of her teaching is vague, theatrical, and often plain wrong. Many students like Hermione dismiss it as rubbish and drop the subject, leaving her inconsistent and unreliable as an educator. In the end, Remus Lupin clearly emerges victorious. Trelawney's personality is memorable, but Lupin's practical lessons, caring style, and life-saving impact give him the clear edge. He advances to the next round. Now let's jump into the semifinals. The left half of the bracket got us to the matchup of Minerva McGonagall versus Pomona Sprout. These two are both rock-solid professors who actually care about their students, but McGonagall just operates on another level. She's handling Transfiguration, one of the trickiest, most dangerous subjects out there, forcing kids to stay sharp and precise under real pressure, while Sprout's herbology is super useful, but also way safer and more forgiving day to day. McGonagall builds that iron discipline you see when she's literally leading the charge in the Battle of Hogwarts, whereas Sprout's gentle vibe is fantastic for steady growth and confidence, but doesn't quite match that same high-stakes intensity or sheer command. Both are fair and inspiring in their own way, but when you're talking about forging capable witches and wizards who can handle anything, McGonagall's edge in leadership and legacy is pretty clear. So yeah, Minerva McGonagall takes it. She's heading to the final. Now let's jump into the second semifinal, which is Phileas Flitwick versus Remus Lupin. These two are both absolute favorites who genuinely care about their students, but Lupin just edges it out for me. Flitwick's charms teaching is joyful and super approachable, making tricky spells feel fun and building skill with no fear. Lupin, though, steps up in defense against the dark arts with expertise and real stakes, teaching practical defense against deadly threats and creating trust in a scary subject. Flitwick's warmth and consistency are brilliant, but Lupin's life or death preparation and ability to equip kids for the darkest dangers give him that extra punch when it counts. So yeah, Lupin takes this one and he is the second finalist. This is it. We made it to the grand final. Minerva McGonagall versus Remus Lupin. Okay, head-to-head, these two are the absolute cream of Hogwarts professors, both brilliant and deeply respected, but Lupin just captures something extra special. McGonagall's iron discipline and mastery of Transfiguration is admirable, and she's the unflinching leader you want in a fight, commanding respect through sheer competence. Lupin, though, blends that same high-level expertise with genuine warmth and quiet care in defense against the dark arts. He teaches life-or-death skills with patience and insight. He adapts to every student's needs. His kindness, reliability, and perfect balance of push and support make him the professor students actually want to open up to and learn from. He is the last professor standing and the rightful winner of this tournament. You can look at the screen one more time to see the full bracket and how it unfolded. Do you agree with all these choices, and did you enjoy revisiting all these amazing characters? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate every type of feedback, and I appreciate you watching such a long video. Thank you, and see you in the next one.